is Monday, August 17th, and I'm Pastor Trish, and we are beginning a new week of nightly devotions. By the way, and I'll tell you this a couple of other times too before we get to the month of September, but when we turn the calendar over to September, as I looked at what a fall schedule will be like at church, I'm going to move to 3 nights a week: Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, nightly devotion. So that's beginning September. Until then, you're stuck with me 5 nights. We are on Psalm 55 as we begin this week. This is a psalm of trust and a prayer for help. It's an individual asking for help. Again, these are psalms that are attributed to King David. This one does not have a particular event. And so we tradition might tell you that this could have been a psalm of King David, but not attributed to any specific incident. It's a fairly long psalm, and so I am going to read parts of it. But what you're going to hear in this psalm is that the person is in a hostile environment, asking for help because of evil and the enemy that's all around him. And this psalm in particular finds the psalmist has been betrayed by a good friend. And so, if that is an experience that you have had, or you are going through, or a difficulty with a close friend, or perhaps a family member, I would encourage you to read this entire psalm. I'm actually going to um, skip a few of the lines that talk more specifically about the trusted friend, the good friend that has betrayed the psalmist. And so you may find that helpful to read this whole psalm and meditate on it. But as I said, I'm going to read a few of these. Something else I was going to say, and I lost it. Oh, I remember what it was. There's also a lot of battle metaphors, warlike metaphors in this, and that's probably not unusual. Again, given the world at the time, the culture, those kinds of things, we still use a lot of battle metaphors if we are honest about that. And so you may find that helpful, or you might find that distracting. And if you find it distracting, I would just encourage you to set that aside and still consider what the psalmist is going through and how difficult it is. Yet the point, of course, is that in the midst of the hostility, the difficult, the betrayal, the psalmist is still able to trust in God. God, listen to my prayer. Don't avoid my request. Pay attention. Answer me. I can't sit still while complaining. I'm beside myself over the enemy's noise, at the wicked person's racket, because they bring disaster on me and harass me furiously. My heart pounds in my chest because death's terrors have reached me. Fear and trembling have come upon me. I'm shaking all over. I say to myself, oh, I wish I had wings like a dove. I'd fly away and rest. I'd run so far away, I'd live in the desert if I hurried to my hideout far away from the rushing wind and storm. The psalmist goes on, talks about the betrayal by the familiar friend, asks God again for say to save him or her, and then the psalm ends with this: my friend attacked his allies, breaking his covenant. Though his talk is smoother than butter, war is in his heart. Though his words are more silky than oil, they are really drawn swords. Cast your burden on the Lord. He will support you. God will never let the righteous be shaken. I apologize. There's one more verse there, but I wanted to end on that particular verse. Cast your burden on the Lord. He will support you, and God will never let the righteous be shaken. I was reminded of, I'm going to call it a camp song for lack of a better word, and I did find it. I'm going to post the, uh, the song "Cast Your Burdens," and it's a catchy little tune. And so I offer that up to you as well if you are carrying burdens this evening. Please pray with me. Lord, although I would prefer to escape from any difficulties I encounter, I will trust in you and then face them instead. Walk with me in those difficulties. Save me as you have promised, and remind me daily of your Hesed faithfulness as well. Thanks be to God. Amen. Okay, I'll post that song. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you tomorrow evening.